Hello everyone, I am Tessellating Hexagons, and it's time for a bit more Choice of the Dragon, because this has kind of become a Let's Play when it's supposed to just be a few episodes of thing. I don't know, it's filler. Anyway, here are the stats from the end of the last episode, and now we can begin the adventure properly, and, well, that was all flashbacks and character development and stuff. It was a framing device. Let's just get into the actual story instead of dwelling on the dick that is Axelmaeus. Oh, that came out wrong. Dwelling on a dick. Never mind. Hey, at the end of this, I would like to see at least some kind of fan art of Calemvir, if not Calemvir and the dick that is Axelmaeus. Or Axelmaeus' dick, question mark? How about no? Anyway, you spend several weeks... There. Just as some lemon tea got caught in my throat. You spend several weeks winging your way across the land. Life as a travelling... Americans can't spell, as a travelling dragon, has much to recommend it. The freedom of the air, the thrill of the hunt, and plentiful sightseeing opportunities. On one particular night, sleeping peacefully under the stars, I cannot words today, you awake to find yourself under attack. A gigantic elder dragon towers before you, whipping you hard with its tail. It must be at least 4 times your size.
Whelp, how dare you sleep on my lands?
Well, this was unexpected. I don't remember this being a thing, but, I don't actually remember if there's a proper answer here. Well, I'd like to apologise and plead ignorance, really, because I'm kind of right. I could play, like this, and this are all essentially the same thing. Like, I'd like to do all 3 of those, but, I'll plead ignorance.
Plead ignorance, and I'd like it if you stop stealing my lines, human.
The elder dragon treats you with an enviable disdain. It soundly beats you out of its territory.
Find your own lair.
It chortles. Despite the advantages, it seems that homelessness has some rather severe downsides. After all, you have nowhere to store your treasure hoard. Well, how have I been carrying my £6,500 this entire time, then? A few days later, as you fly along, you see a large hill rising up from the land around it. Forests cover the lower slopes of the hill, giving way to grassy fields, and then a rocky crag at the top of the hill. A large cave mouth opens into the promontory. While you would have to check it out more carefully to be certain, you believe that the hill contains a fairly extensive cave complex. Plenty of game runs through the forest, with herds of sheep and even cattle in some of the valleys a short flight away. Looking beyond the immediate environs, several human villages and towns are well within a day's flight, offering the promise of easy pillaging to come, but none are close enough to make any harassment or annoyance likely. In short, it appears to be a perfect lair. I remember this. As you fly down to claim your new lair, you spot a group of small, mostly bald, orange-skinned humanoids outside the cave. They look up and point at you in terror and alarm. Some of them flee into the cave, while others bravely shake crude, ineffectual spears at you.
Don't eat me.
Jabbers one of the goblins.
Eat Groups, he's got meat on him.
The goblin who spoke pushes one of the other goblins with the butt of his spear. Missed out the word forward, didn't I? The other goblin, presumably Groops, drops his spear as he shakes in front of you. How cute. What do I do? Because they could be useful minions, so... I don't want to kill them, so I'll keep them around.
I'll scare them off for now.
A mighty roar and a puff of smoke and fire are more than sufficient to scatter them. Almost no exertion, and they're gone. What's more, as you follow them into the cave, you find that they're quickly proffering food before you. It can be good to have respectful minions. Disdain and finesse increase. Told you so. The cave complex within the hill is everything you hoped for. It's defensible, spacious enough for a good hoard, and full of those greasy little goblins who quickly acknowledge you as their eternal sovereign and overlord. They give you the best of their treasure and the finest of their foods. Well, almost the finest. They burn the very best of their foods on a crude altar to their primitive goblin god. How would you react to that? Well, I don't want to be a dick, but I don't want to overly pander to them because I need to command some respect. So, yeah, let's be cynical here and let's let them do their thing.
As long as they're loyal to me, I don't care if they worship a unicorn covered with polka dots.
The offerings are inconsequential, and you can ignore them easily. By tolerating their religion, you also secure the unswerving loyalty of the goblin shaman, don't know how you pronounce it, it's one of the two. Good job. Disdain increases. The goblins obey your every command, sometimes even anticipating your desires. They may be stupid, crude, and savage minions, but at least they're your stupid, crude, and savage minions. Life is good. A few days later, you hear the sound of squabbling from one of the other chambers. You poke your snout in and see that a rudimentary pit has been arranged, and some of the lowest status goblins are being made to battle for the amusement of the chieftain, now your lieutenant. The fighting is savage, and it is clear that the losers will die. Again, I'm just gonna be cynical, because, I mean, yes, they're wasting their lives, but, I mean, they're useful, but they're also kind of stinky. And, I won't be a dick by demanding that they kill each other for my amusement. Let's just leave them to it. This is how we do, chill and laid back, straight starting, we do it like that.
What the goblins do is beneath my notice as long as they're ready to serve me.
Your curiosity satisfied, you return to your main chamber and settle in. You now simply tune out the sounds of fighting from the goblin quarters. It is nothing worthy of your attention. Disdain increases. And apparently we're at the end of a chapter already, but I don't want to draw this Let's Play out too much, because I don't know how long it has to go, and 6 minutes isn't very good for a video, so let's continue. You look down from your lair at the lands beyond the mountain. Those green lands are full of humans, and humans have large reserves of livestock and rich treasure. Shouldn't that food and wealth be yours instead? That seems like a very Bowser response. That seems a bit more, I don't know, I'd say Ganonish, but humans and tributes. Let's Hunger Games this bitch.
Nothing enlivens a lair like cringing humans carrying tribute.
How true, how true. Let's be clear about why you plan on conquering the humans, though. What's most important to you? Well, all of these are important for dragons. I like how it's recognised, the whole princes and princesses, because we're not sexist, we're a modern dragon kind of thing. Prey is important. I'm torn between the top bottom and the option. You know what I mean. Because food is important. I mean, gold is kind of important because we're a dragon, and that would also be useful. Yeah.
I need to ensure a steady supply of prey.
The humans would have vast herds of cows and horses. Intimidate them into bringing you some weekly, and you'll have that much more time to eat. You push off from your rocky spire and glide outwards on the wind. You smell the faint scent of human cooking fires. Where to start? I think we'll end up doing all of these anyway. It's just a question of where we start. I will start here, and my strategy being cut off supply to the village, and then take the village because they won't have any supplies. Then once the village is out, that'll have the same effect on the city, but there'll be more of a chunk taken out of it, if you will. So,
head to the mountain pass used by all of the merchants.
Interesting choice. Why start with a mountain pass? Well, I just explained that. Well, that's true. That's also true. Not that I would know. That's also true, but my idea is to control trade here.
Control trade, and I'll control the kingdom. I've already told you to stop preempting my lines.
An insightful analysis. Cunning increases. There's one main pass through the mountains that all merchants use, mostly because it has a good road. The human queen has her own toll booth here. You can see a line of wagons making their way through the pass even now. How do you want to handle this? These are all interesting options. None of these would have occurred to me personally, but we'll keep them alive, because then we can have them as minions in my stead. I can be elsewhere, and they can keep grabbing money, and then give it to me all tax collectory.
I'll be sneaky and terrify the toll keepers into giving me all the money that they collect.
You can be stealthy when you put your mind to it, and you can be patient. You wait until dark before you stalk close to the toll-keeper's blockade. When he comes out to answer the call of nature, you rise up suddenly in front of him. His scream is a delight to hear. What do you ask for? I keep picking the top options, and I feel like that's a bit too hasty. So, if we select this top option, and he declines then that'll completely throw my strategy of having a minion here out the window. But if we pick this option, then he'll carry on doing it. It's much more agreeable, and while it might not have the same effect on the trade industry, it'll supply me with stuff without arousing the suspicion of the human forces.
You will give me half of your tolls now and forever. That's assuming you want to live, of course.
The tollkeeper seems doubtful that their queen will allow it, but he certainly doesn't want to get eaten. He agrees to the deal, but says he'll have to clear it with his superiors in the capital. Finesse increases. How was that finesseful?
Finesseful isn't a word, human.
What's the next step in your climb to dominance? Yeah, we'll do the village next.
I'll conquer the nearby village next.
Why the nearest village? That's a good question. Well, the bottom one seems overly aggressive, and we're too finesseful for that.
Human, don't insult me with your made-up words.
See, I'm considering the middle option, but actually, no, the top option is the best one here.
It's better to start small and see if they have any defenses.
Good thinking. Clever planning like this will be useful later on when you face more worthy opponents.
You mean not all humans are weak and pathetic?
You soar above the local village. From here you can see fields of crops, shepherds with their flocks, and a few wagons filled with vegetables. It's fairly small, though. In the centre of the village you can see a hanging banner displaying the livery of the Queen. What do you do to the village? This is an interesting set of options. Well, I could do all of them, really. Start at the bottom, and now we're here. Like, that could be a good warning shot, but it could also turn them against me, so we'll start off slow and see what happens from there.
I'll demand their surrender and obeisance.
You land in front of the largest group of humans and say,
"Grovel before me, humans, or be devoured."
They grovel. Oh, how they grovel. There's no one here who would even think of challenging you, so they squirm on the ground and sing your praises. They're planning to betray you, of course, but for now they're terrified and docile. Or docile? I don't remember. The humans offer you the meagre tribute that their village can muster up. It's not much, but every gold coin counts. With a belly full of their sheep, you take to the air again. Finesse increases, infamy decreases.
Well, sorry for not being an asshole.
What's next? I would do this, but chances are the humans would just murder him before he got to do a thing, and even then I don't think they speak the same language, so let's just
fly directly to a big city and confront the human queen there.
It doesn't take long before you're circling over their puny city. It would burn beautifully and you could smash it into flinders, but it's full of wealth. You can smell the treasure from here. You settle heavily in the main plaza in front of the palace. As you land, your tail idly destroys the ancient statue of some dead king.
"Send out your queen,"
you roar. People flee from the sound of your voice.
"I demand to talk to her. Send her out, or I'll rip apart the castle piece by piece and then eat her once I'm done. Now!"
Someone screams. You see worried courtiers staring at you from around the door to the palace, then hastily ducking back inside. From behind, the sound of a horse distracts you. You smell weapon oil and metal.
"Avaunt, foul beast!"
challenges a human encased in metal armour. He carries a long lance with a pennant flying from it.
"I am Sir Roadguard."
Are you going to put up with that bullshit? Yeah, let's toy with the fucker.
I'll let him finish his speech. "Knight of our Royal Highness, Her Graceful Majesty Queen Juliet, long may she reign over..." I changed my mind. He is really boring.
You knock him down before he ever completes his little speech. A claw swipe knocks him sideways off of his horse, and sends the mount fleeing in blind terror. The knight rolls awkwardly and tries to get to his feet or words. As he does, he looks up to see you dangling the remains of the plaza statue over his head.
"Duck, bitch,"
you suggest, and he does. Then your head snaps down and catches him in your jaw. That would be equally funny, though. I'd just have a chest of drawers with me, just scoop him up in that. He struggles half in and half out of your mouth, tee-hee, as you decide whether or not to eat him. Yeah, he's helpless. Let's just eat his face.
"I'll devour his ass." No, wait, that came out wrong.
You bite down hard, swallow, and smile a terrible grin. That is just so many euphemisms. Mustering whatever dignity she can, the human queen steps outside the doors to her palace. You can smell her fear, and her courtiers beg her not to, but she emerges to meet you with what passes for human courage. You smile. A terrible sight.
A beast?
She asks in a remarkably steady voice.
I am Queen Juliet. We have not offended you. What is it you want with us?
What do you do? What do I do? Well, yeah, this is the one that will give me a strategic advantage, because if we just kill her, then we won't really have a governing body and everyone will kind of scramble, and that will be all kinds of unnecessary.
I'll command her to surrender her kingdom to me.
How do you want to command the Queen? Well, back to the euphemisms already. We could be brutal, but that's not our style, because we're finesseful.
I'm beginning to run out of patience, human.
Anyway, yes, we'll be clever about it.
I'll command her cleverly. Dearest Queen,
you croon,
I am not without mercy. I am able to kill you and everyone you protect. Alternatively, I could decimate your kingdom. Your few remaining subjects would kill you themselves for betraying them to a fearsome dragon. I have a better idea, however. In exchange for a somewhat burdensome amount of treasure, I will rule you from afar. You will become my kingdom and my subjects. In return for your obedience and tribute, I will protect you. What say you?
The soon-to-be ex-queen's eyes are bulging.
Great dragon, she stutters. That is a very kind and gracious offer. We would be blessed to have as mighty a protector such as you. May we have some time to decide?
Well, if we give her some time, then she might try to find a loophole in it, so I'm afraid we must persist.
No!
You roar.
You must decide this instant, human. Is not the ability to make rapid decisions a good quality in a ruler? Yes, O mighty dragon. I will accept you as my ruler, and perhaps through me you will administer your new kingdom.
She raises her voice to anyone who can hear.
Kneel before your new sovereign, O people,
she shouts.
Behold the dragon ruler Calemvir.
You depart, clutching the first of your tribute in your claws, exceptionally pleased with how the day has gone. You'll have to wait for treachery, of course, but you have a good feeling about this. You've never owned a kingdom before. Finesse increases, infamy decreases. And since that's the end of a chapter, I think I'll leave this episode here. It's twice as long as the last one, but whatever. Funny how the Queen magically knows my name without me actually saying anything, but it's whatever. So anyway, I have been and will continue to be Tessellating Hexagons, and I will see you in the next part of Choice of the Dragon. See you lovely people then. Praise Calemvir.